Good morning, Nigerians, and welcome to another episode of Atn Saturday. Atn Saturday is a syndicated live program of the network featuring conversations and in-depth analysis of trending political news, events, and stories with stakeholders. Through these conversations, ATN uses political talks about specific issues, party system, and actors to explore hope and engender positive impacts to the society. And today, our top stories, our top for today, in Anambra State, Soludo urges Igbo in Lagos to prioritize investment in Southeast. Oyo State, Zolom canvasses robust investment in agri to end social vices, and in Ekiti State, worshippers kick out Anglican priest over leadership style. And in FCT, ex-immigration officer arrested for selling arms to bandits. And on gender inclusivity, Guacham advocates for equality, justice for women. And on VC appointment, stakeholders lament absence of merit assault on due process. And in parenting, Chimamanda Adichie vows to raise emotionally strong sons. And on Titan, no matter how much I earn, 10% belongs to God, Igalo. We'll go on a short break, and when we return, I will introduce my guest for the show, for today's episode on the show. Do stay tuned.
The board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2025 anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 FM. Theme: Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Iradia, erudite scholar and broadcast guru. Chairman, Professor Umar Pert, President, Society of Broadcasters, Nigeria, and Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Kashiri, Gombe State. Panelists, Chief Honorable Arthur C. Kalabo, Information and Communication Expert. Dr. Harker Dwight, Lecturer, Public Relations, Media and Communication. Dr. Bekwele Lawrence D.K., Lecturer, Marketing Communication and Public Relations. Opaka Dakuba, Chairman, South-South, Nigerian Union of Journalists. Susan Serekara Nwikana, Chairperson, Nawach, River State. Chief Host, Dr. Chinyere Igwe, Esquire, FSM, FIMC, FNIMN, MNIM, ARPA, MIPPA. Chairman, Morrison Group. Date, 10th of March 2025. Venue, Dimeji Banquet Hall, Gate Place Hotel, Kilometer 5 East West Road by Open Quarry Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time is 11 a.m.
Call Kehinde Paul Obofadi on 0802 301 5728. That is 0802 301 5728 or info@atlanticnetwork.tv or info@wishfm995ph.com. You can also call Laurentia Ogu on 0818 344 6746. That is 0818 344 6746 or lead content at atlanticnetwork.tv. This is signed by management.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me this morning to analyze our top story is Mr. Libari Firi. Mr. Libari Firi is a realtor and a public analyst. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Michael.
Thank you for joining me this morning.
Okay, it's a pleasure.
Happy International Women's Day.
To my wife and my mother.
All right, let's go to our first story for the day. Anambra State Governor Chukwuma Soludo has appealed to Igbo investors in Lagos to redirect their wealth and investments back to their homeland in the southeast. Speaking at the Anambra Homeland Consciousness Initiative event in Lagos, Soludo emphasized the need for Ndi Igbo to prioritize the development of their region. He said, "We Ndi Igbo are a blessed and distinguished people with wisdom, uncommon dynamism and ingenuity. We are like the cactus plants that thrive even in the desert, with the resilience to overcome challenges. Like the cedar tree, we flourish and prosper, generating wealth in every corner of the world." Soludo noted that while the Igbo people are known for their entrepreneurial spirit and wealth, they often prioritize investments in other regions over their homeland. Charity, as they say, begins at home. It has become imperative for us to introspect and reevaluate these tendencies in light of the current political and economic realities. Soludo urged Igbo investors to adopt a homeland consciousness approach, channeling their resources towards building a sustainable and prosperous homeland. We need to build business hubs, create boom towns, and stimulate the influx of foreign capital into our homeland, he said. The governor reiterated his commitment to supporting initiatives that will make the region a thriving economic center. He called on all Igbo entrepreneurs to take bold steps towards building a sustainable and prosperous homeland, saying we must exercise caution and be proactive in safeguarding our business interests. Mr. Libari, before I go into the state of affairs in Anambra State, this is the governor of Anambra State urging Igbos to channel their investment back home. What's your take on this as a public affairs analyst?
Okay. First, you should know the man that is an economist.
Okay.
He has been the listing of Central Bank before.
Governor.
Yeah, he has been the governor of Central Bank before, and as the governor of the state, you know, he has statistics of the business entrepreneurs, capturing of industries that are within the region of the Igbo ethnicity, and you cannot debunk that fact. If you go to Kano, there is a place called New Inugu, that's Panisao side. You get to that place, it's predominantly Igbo. All the houses you are seeing there owned by the Igbos.
Interesting.
Top men. That place looks like something like Dubai. The place is, when you get to Kano, Panisao, New Inugu. So calling on them to come home. But before you are asking them to come home, yes, he has put in place mechanism now to curb the insecurity in Anambra State. What about other places like Imo State? If I is doing perfectly well in Enugu now, how about places like Bonny, or places like Abia? And beyond just curbing insecurity, what are the business, how would I put it, what are the environments you've created, the atmosphere that you've set for business and industries to strive? What are those things? Because it's not just moving them. Why people go to Lagos is that not minding how Lagosians sometimes behaves. Like what happened during the last election when some of the Igbo men lost millions of naira, their businesses and the rest of it. The victimization that also took place, that most of their houses and this thing were brought down. Quite victimization, because there are no two ways about it. You brought the place down, later you said it's not the right way for the coastal, whatever you call it, and you have another route for that, and they lost their houses, lost their money. So beyond that, they are good, but in this environment you want them to come. Okay, I listened to one of the top Igbo men, one of them, the young guys, Charles Awozie, the threats he has been having from the place. So you're not expecting to come and invest there, no. You have to create that environment. Now, another thing you should consider is taxation.
Okay.
So you can give a tax waiver for them. There are things you do, it's not just by words, lure them to come. By the time you lure them, they will see reasons with you. You're not going to be the one standing on the pulpit of the public to to preach about them coming to invest in Igbo land. They will see reasons. No matter where we go, somebody sang a song, no matter where you go, remember the road that will take you home. Home is home. No matter where you are, no matter where you sit, no matter where you position, even if you like travel around the world, your home is your home. No matter the identity, no matter the place you naturalize, they will still tell you, they will trace your roots to the place. Everybody say Elon Musk is from where? South Africa, right? He's in America. He's making the economy of America boom. But that doesn't stop his origin. He's from here. Barack Obama became president of America. His roots is where? Kenya, right? So no matter where you go, Anthony Joshua is doing whatever he's doing, his roots still remains Nigeria. So no matter where you go, home is home. But home has to welcome you for you to come home. Until you are welcome, until that environment, do what Lagos did. Lagos had made life easier for people to stay. Yes, they have a town. They have set aside. When your money rich, go to Ikoyi and stay. Your money rich, go to Banana Island and live. Have this. Set these things, and this place, they have top security network that people know that if I'm staying here, I'm secured. Also, they have a free trade zone. Okay. If you can secure that place, you know that taxation, all these things, you are free from it. So there should be this apparatus set in place. Yes, though Lagos, at some point, I'm one of the persons that, at some point, I'm not too, because we have other ports around us that would have functioned well for business, but why must everything, which some people are going, I know people who are going to look at if it has been ethnicized economically, they are trying to do economic monopoly in the economic flow of Nigeria using Lagos, because now Lagos has moved from Lagos to Ogun State. Yeah. Okay. If you go to most of the places you are calling Lagos, now they are Ogun State. Lagos does not have land like that. Moving to Ogun State, yes. So it's better, sir, His Excellency, look into the security architecture of Igbo land, not just in Anambra State, not just in Enugu State, not just in Ebonyi State, not just in Imo State, not just in Abia State. You people should have, the 5 governors should come together, build a good, Aba is capable of taking care.
Yeah, I was to go down there.
Look at Aba. Aba can be the production hub of Nigeria. What do you want to produce? This shoe, clothing, whatever. But another thing is I want them to come and invest there. There is this notion we have about Igbo. Generally, they produce fake things. Okay. Yes.
But fake things are everywhere. You wouldn't.
It's everybody. You know, when Taiwan came, do you know what made Taiwan to sink? Because Taiwan, whatever you bring from Taiwan, weren't up to standard, like the Japanese. You know, that was 10. What you are having China, it was Japan. Everywhere was Japan. So later we now have Taiwan. That when anything comes in, they say this is Taiwan. This Taiwan. Taiwan has faded. Taiwan faded because of fake. Are you getting it? So it's better. I have a friend who has been in Cotonou. There's something my friend will always tell me. He tell you that here they don't have fake things. That whatever comes in, they make sure it's standard.
In Cotonou?
Said they make sure. What they do is that those fake ones, I've not been there, but I'm alleging. That's Nigeria now. So he said what they give you there for all the time, what they are giving is standard. They make sure their things are standard. Though even if it's costly, but it's standard. So one thing they should look at the bad eggs that are infiltrating the market. Okay, recently, liquor sellers. How many of them, the people that were staying about to produce Glenfiddich, people that were staying there to produce NSC, they were staying there to produce all these fake wines that we are having around. They should be able to look into this to boost the economy, because once we know that what is coming from here is good, is quality, people will patronize, not just them to come. We should be able to cop all those things, because I can't be a producer that I'm putting my money to bring out things, and on the long run, the fake one now enter the market and push me out of market.
But in market is all about profit, and people would love to go for things that are pocket friendly. So would you say the production of fake products is solely a responsibility of the producers?
No, see, fake products, minus the monitoring agency of Nigeria that are supposed to monitor, like Consumer Protection, NAFDAC, SON, Standard Organization of Nigeria, and so on and so forth. There are other things that are needed. Are you getting it? Now, the government within the state, you should look into the same. I still maintain that there is nobody doing fake things that the government cannot track. You know why? If they have succeeded, the people they've caught now, who made it possible? Now, people want to go for pocket-friendly things because of why? They are seeing it. And even when the thing is not up to quality, let us manage it.
Most times they're the ones that demand it from the producers.
One of the friends of mine, is not that an, how will I put it, elderly friend is into bread production. Within this period of hike in the price of flour, he said something. He said, he did a public opinion on this thing. Will you like me to reduce the quality of my bread and sell it cheaper, or I should maintain my quality and add money to it? People said maintain the quality, add money to it.
That means Nigerians
Nigerians are looking for quality. If we see that this thing is quality enough, now we will get it. Do you know how good it is that you get one thing and that thing serves you? Now for you to go and buy 5 that will not be able to serve you. So they should look into this. Igbo land is blessed of a truth. Anambra itself is one of the states that have produced the highest millionaires in Nigeria. So if they can work on these things, and then our brothers should also look. It's not to stay away, and there are them that are away, the captain of industries that are from this area. There's something I still mention his name because he has been very vocal. They said they should build a trust fund for Igbo land.
Okay.
He always said that he's not against Biafra, but not Biafra of secession. That Biafra can do their secession by economic power. By the time they build the Biafra land, and Biafra is economic strong, Nigeria will come to them. They can make Biafra the tech hub of Nigeria. Igbo land, when we talk about Biafra, it's the Igbo land.
Yeah.
So they can make it the tech hub of Nigeria, where anything that has to do with tech will move from Lagos. They can do it. They have the manpower. They have the capacity. They have the strength. They have the enablement. So it's not just to do the preaching, but they should look into this, work on it, harness the resources, call these people together, look at the loopholes. Even as it is, even if Lagos is thriving, there are still loopholes in Lagos. There are loopholes there that can be filled up in the Igbo land. Okay, look at all the NYC booths. When I was in camp, when I served in the north. But my camp commandant was bold enough to tell us that all the booths we are wearing were produced in Nigeria.
Interesting.
To tell you how good it is. But things that are insecurity is there, fake products that is on the rampant is there. Then they should look into creating a hub for them. Not just they can build, they should create the hub, the government, because everything points that there shouldn't be a government of victimization. That if I come in to invest in Igbo land, because I'm not supporting you as a government, tomorrow I will lose it. They should keep politics aside from industrial actions, industrial policies, economic policies. They should be out of politics.
Okay.
Obi Kubana built his Keke Napep factory in Lagos. They were shouting, how can he come to Igbo land when he has been threatened by his people? And I have to look for security. It's money that I'm spending. So that's what I have to say in respect to that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Lebari, for your opinion on that. We'll go on a quick break, and when we return, we'll head straight into our stories. Still stay tuned.
The board, management and staff of Morrison Media Group presents the 2025 anniversary lecture of Atlantic Television Network and Wish 99.5 FM. Theme: Imperative of Private Media in Sustainable Development.
Keynote speaker, Professor Tony Iradia, erudite scholar and broadcast guru. Chairman, Professor Umar Pat, President, Society of Broadcasters, Nigeria, and Vice Chancellor, Federal University of Kashiri, Gombe State. Panelists, Chief Honorable Arthur C. Calabo, Information and Communication Expert, Dr. Harker Dwight, Lecturer, Public Relations, Media and Communication, Dr. Bekwele Lawrence D.K., Lecturer, Marketing Communication and Public Relations, Opaka Dakuba, Chairman, South-South, Nigerian Union of Journalists, Susan Serekara Nwikana, Chairperson, Nawach River State, Chief Host, Dr. Chiwe Igwe, Esquire, FSM, FIMC, FNIMN, MNIM, ARPA, MIPPA, Chairman, Morrison Group. Date, 10th of March 2025. Venue, Dimeji Banquet Hall, Gay Place Hotel, Kilometer 5 East West Road by Obinkwere Flyover, Rumosi, Port Harcourt. Time is 11 a.m.
Call Kehinde Paul Obofadi on 0802 301 5728. That is 0802 301 5728 or info@atlanticnetwork.tv or info@wishfm995ph.com. You can also call Laurentia Ogu on 0818 344 6746. That is 0818 344 6746 or lead content at atlanticnetwork.tv. This is signed by management.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Joining me to analyze the top story alongside Mr. Lebar is Miss Isaac Tehila. Miss Isaac Tehila is an educator and a counselor. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
And thank you for joining me. Happy Women's Day. Happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure having you on the show. All right, let's move on to our next story. Borno State Governor Babangana Zulum has canvassed increase in investments in the agricultural sector to address terrorism in Nigeria and other countries. According to him, the move would end terrorism and conflicts that have claimed many lives and property in Africa. Zulum spoke on Wednesday in Ibadan during a panel session on public-private and development partnership for agri-food transformation at the International Institute of Tropical Agriculture, Ibadan, Oyo State. The event was part of a 3-day working visit of the President of Sierra Leone, Dr. Julius Maada Bio, to Nigeria. The visit was to explore innovative agricultural practices that could strengthen strategic partnerships between the two countries. With Sierra Leone's history of conflicts, President Bayo is eager to adopt agricultural strategies that have proven effective in conflict-affected regions. Besides adopting the agricultural strategies, Bayo stated, "We are keen and ready to learn from Borno State's agricultural initiatives," noting that the strategy had demonstrated a remarkable resilience despite the 15-year Boko Haram insurgency in the state. Speaking alongside Governors Sheyi Makinde of Oyo and Caleb Mosfwang of Plateau State, Zulum shared insights into Borno's agricultural transformation. Highlighting the investment in solar-powered irrigation, large-scale farming, and public-private partnerships, he stated, "Our strategic investments in the agricultural sector have yielded remarkable results to boost employment and food security." Mr. Libari, I would love to start with you. Zulum canvassing robust investments in agriculture to end terrorism and conflict. What's your opinion on this, being a public affairs analyst?
Okay, number one is that you will understand Zulum is a scholar.
Okay.
And for him to speak, he must come from the angle of not just deductive or inductive aspect of knowledge. This thing. He has been able to carry out an in-depth research about it, and maybe his findings has been proven that it could. So I will not fault him. I'm not going to fault his assertions or his postulations. Another thing is that he is the governor of one of the most crisis and conflict-prone states in Nigeria. One state that has been at the rough edge of the sword of insurgency and insecurity, and he has sailed through the storm of that insecurity. I think he's one of the governors that I respect well. When I mean respect in Nigeria, not minding the heat and the problem that is there in Borno State, how he tackles, handles, and navigates his way through them, and making sure that his name is written in the archive of the men that are doing well in Nigeria. Those at some point they support and some of the things with currencies makes us to like, show me a friend, I'll tell you you have by the way. So let's come back. I know if we invest in agriculture, it has the potency of curbing unemployment,
conflict and terrorism.
Looking at terrorism is externally funded. The funding of terrorism is not from Nigeria. It's not just Nigerian. Though our business counterparts, our politicians, some of them are involved. Yes. Why? Because one of the head of state told us that whatever program that has stayed beyond 48 hours has a political undertone.
Okay.
Yeah. Has political undertone. So that's why I'm using that word. Because if someone who has been head of state could use that word, it means that it's true. They know what they've seen before saying it. And also the terrorism, Boko Haram, herdsmen and whatsoever, non-government in the north is also from recent revelations on what has called revelation. It's not spiritual.
Okay.
But recent things that are there is also resources. They are doing to control the resources. Few persons are doing it so that they could mine the resources, get the resources for their personal interest.
Are you talking about agriculture or terrorism?
No, I'm coming back terrorism. I'm not on agriculture now.
Okay.
So now using agriculture to curb it, that's what I'm trying to see. Will it make the people that are funding terrorism to withdraw? One. Now, the people who has benefited the sweetness of terrorism, those who are involved, carrying these young ladies, raping them, enjoying this thing without anybody harming them, is it possible that just agriculture will make them to come out of it? Now, this now calls for, I talked about peace education. So beyond agriculture, there is need to take this campaign of peace education to the nooks and crannies of the north.
I will hold your thoughts there. I will get back to you. As an educator and counselor, he just said peace education. Don't you think we should also focus this energy into educating the masses instead of just investing in agriculture as a panacea to ending conflict?
Okay, just like he said about peace education, I think before venturing into agriculture, peace education should be the key thing first. So if you educate the masses, that means you're trying to draw their mind from terrorism, trying to empower or engage them into having unity amongst themselves. So if you do that first, that would help, rather than venturing into agriculture just like that. Agriculture won't just work, because not everybody will be patient enough to invest time and resources into agriculture. So you have to engage their mind, tell them about peace, give them peace talks, and then enlighten them. We need to harmonize first before going to agriculture.
Okay. On peace education, he didn't specify the stakeholders. If he was referring to the stakeholders or he was referring to the masses. So, is it a two-way thing, or it should just be on, like you said, terrorism is funded externally? But let's leave that part. Let's go down to this agriculture as a panacea to conflict.
Agriculture as a panacea to, you know, we have mathematical way of solving conflicts. That's where we are now going to the statistics aspect of it.
Okay.
Now, I do more works on conflicts. Currently, I'm running a program, and my research is also on conflicts.
Okay.
So, but I've not come across agriculture as a point of militating against conflicts. I would like to dive into it if I can have materials or have a listing about it. But when you talk about agriculture, you are talking about economic self-employment and IGP, IGRO, revenue. Are you getting it now? So, because if you are investing in agriculture, the state government is looking at a way to boom, and that's why they will not bring in youth. Now, if you do it like private empowerment to the youth, now, I'm going to get the first thing. And once you are introduced to terrorism, the benefit of terrorism takes you over.
I'm looking at the...
From the south, if you see a guy who was involved in artisan refinery, which we call bunkering, it's difficult for you to pull them out.
Yes.
Do you know why? Because of the money that is entering their hands. Are you getting it now? And not just once you are into it, there are other things that surrounds. So for you to pull these people out, it goes beyond just calling them come and work. How much are you going to pay them? Do you know what it is that some of these people carries gun from the bush, enter into the town, and they now negotiate that for you to be released, you pay us you've heard the money they are calling now. 500 million,
10 million,
20. How much are you going to pay to match up with that? In fact, some community they are demanding you will give us 100 Okadas. You will give us. So when you match this thing now, beyond agriculture, yes, I don't know other the steps they have taken, but beyond agriculture should be when you have integrated them into the system, you now bring out agriculture for them not to be idle.
But I'm looking at the fact that, like you said, Zulum is a governor, one governor whose state has faced numerous episodes of crisis. So for him to highlight agriculture among other factors, don't you think, like he said, robust investments, and they have, like he mentioned, some of the achievements they made in the Borno state?
Were there no investment when Boko Haram started?
No, he's talking about just...
Were there no agricultural activities going on in Borno state when Boko Haram started?
There was, but this is about...
Sorry. So what makes you think that only agriculture could imitate, curb, and bring an end to conflict? It couldn't. Beyond, see, let's see. One thing with us is that in Nigeria is that once we just see something is good, we run after it. We should go for the right thing first. When I was on my undergraduate days, I did a paper on contemporary issues in Nigeria. What was the paper I wrote about Niger Delta amnesty? And what did I write? I wrote that for you to sustain Niger Delta amnesty, you must involve in adult education and peace education.
Okay.
Adult education is non-formal education that qualifies you, the training you have, the teaching you have, the knowledge you have that builds your mind. You know, we have two types of age. We have the quantitative age and the qualitative age.
Okay.
So that education that brings about your qualitative age, not quantitative age. That education that makes you to stand firm. According to UNESCO of definition of adult education, they talk about you being responsibility.
Okay.
That education that makes you to be responsible in the society. That education that makes me, as I am here now, if I'm a governor, I know that if I am stealing, like what the president of Senegal did recently, said he doesn't want to see his picture in anywhere. Don't put the picture, put your family pictures in your offices, put your family pictures in your bank, in your enterprise, so that when you want to do something, you will see them and know that whatever you are doing is affecting them, not his picture.
Interesting.
So that education that makes me to realize this, that was why the man Paulo Freire of Brazil brought about the concept of conscientization, that men are naive, men need to grow to magic consciousness and then go to the point of being critical in their consciousness. When they are critical in consciousness, then they will be able to stand against the menace of the society. When people have not gotten this conscience training, they've not been trained in their mind. You want to push them into agriculture. What if anything happen on agriculture field? Because once it's economic process, you must count also of the losses that are involved. So that is why I'm stressing that for you, for instance now, some Boko Haram members, the people they said I don't know, you just brought them in, you want to integrate them into the military. Repentance. What made you feel they have fully repented? Don't you know that in conflict management we have what is called in conflict management we have beyond, it's not spy, there is something we call pretense. It's the way they put it in, like if I want to instigate conflict here and I know it's the enemy, okay, like me, I used to call it warm theory in my political career. I have a theory that I developed, I call the warm or maggot theory in politics.
Okay.
That was what I used in my graduate days.
Your theory, what theory is that?
I call it maggot theory.
What does it state?
I can't state it here. It's personal. So now what happened is that, don't you know, these people can send some of their boys. Oh, since this happen, come in here. They appear as if they are part of you.
As an inside man.
An inside man. But they are the people. But it's better that the people's mindset is reorientated. Change them. Let them have a circumcised mindset. Let there be this purification. Separate them from who they were, bring them into who they ought to be, and then push them into the agricultural phase of it.
But you're not undervaluing, I'll come to you, you're not underplaying the role of skill.
No. See, if you want to bring a man out of the streets, skill is important. I get him. Now, an idle man is the devil's worship.
Exactly, I was to come to that.
I get him.
Because after educating someone, and then there's nothing to engage the person. A person that can use that education in which he has gotten in the wrong manner.
Beyond what Bible says, let me say this. Let me digress a little. I'm coming back. I read one of the documentary and Socrates said something. He said the greatest question that had been posed to him was given by his students. Do you know what the student asked him?
No.
He said, is it right because the gods accept it? Or the gods accept it because it's right? No, we believe that the gods, they are powerful. So, is it that the gods accept it? Is it that the gods accept it, that is why it's right? Or it is right because it is right even before the gods accept it?
Well, I think William Shakespeare answered that question when he said nothing is good or bad, we make it so.
No. Socrates, he said he went to the mountain and stayed. He came back and said the gods accept it because it's right. That was where the philosophy of morality, moral starts from. That moral precedes religion, precedes human being, precedes anything. What is right precedes anything you are doing, precedes general concession, precedes general agreement. So now on what our dear governor is saying now, let me come back now. What is right, which has to do with orientating these people, changing their mindset, trying to know why. You cannot change somebody without knowing why the person who did what the person did.
Okay.
And beyond just mere words, because me, if I want to get something from you, I can twist my words. There should be an in-depth investigation. I call it diagnostic principle. to understand in conflict. You should not use diagnostic principle to understand why are these people going into this beyond just words, because there are some things they will conceal, they will hold some truth. But when you diagnose it, you'll be able to know. Just like you take someone to the lab, X-ray will show you what is wrong with the part of the body. So you use diagnostic principle and you will be able to get what they don't want to say, the unspoken words, you will get it. So beyond just pushing them into agriculture, in a fragile environment, in a fragile state, they should go into in-depth education, educating the mind of these people. Agriculture will boom, agriculture will help, but education, to me, I cannot fault what a professor is, an authority in the field, but I am giving my suggestion that education, not merely going to school, peace education through symposium, through workshop, and this thing is better. So that is what I am suggesting, Mr. Governor.
All right. Thank you so much for your. I don't know if you have any thoughts on this before we move to our next story.
I want to talk about skill.
Okay.
Now, apart from agriculture, perhaps before you go into agriculture, if you give them something to do, a handwork, a skill, individually, that would also be booming their source of revenue.
Okay.
So apart from agriculture, there should also be skill after the peace talk, though. After the peace talk. So.
All right, thank you so much for your opinions on that. Moving on to our next story. Gathering of congregants at the All Saints Church Anointed Land, Opopogboro, Ado Ekiti, last Sunday, March 2, 2025, was an unusual one. Rather than converge on the church auditorium for a service, they gathered in clusters within the premises in protest against certain things they had frowned on regarding the vicar of the church. The priest, who was to conduct the service in the church, which is under the jurisdiction of the Anglican Diocese of Ekiti, watched in surprise as the worshippers kept their distance. Prior to that day, members of the parish had demanded the outright transfer of the vicar from the church, and even though the leadership of the diocese had brought in another cleric to officiate the service, the members refused to budge. Signs posted on walls and notice boards on the church premises before their grievances. Members were unhappy with the way Olarewanju was handling the affairs of the parish. Follower insisted that activities will not resume in the church until the demand of the members was met by the leadership of the diocese. He added that they had submitted a formal request signed by many members for the vicar's transfer from the parish, and it had been forwarded to the bishop of the diocese, Right Reverend Andrew Ajayi, the PCC scribe who traced the beginning of the crisis in the parish to an election for the position of people's warden, said the virtual election was shrouded in controversy. The vicar allegedly declared it inconclusive. According to him, members who accused the vicar of interfering in the process were not pleased with the developments, which they said amounted to preventing their preferred candidate from assuming the office and later removing the person's name from the church bulletin. Other church members claimed that an allegation that the vicar assaulted the current people's warden, Mrs. Omoyeni Oyewole, after allegedly attempting to remove her from the position, heightened the tension. Also speaking on the crisis, the youth president of the parish, Olushola Ogunyemi, stated that the development in the church was displeasing to members. What is happening here is unexpected. We are not happy with what we are seeing here this morning. The majority of the parish members are against the vicar. His style of administration has affected the church, and we don't want that to continue. We want the bishop, the supreme authority, to take action. I'll start with you, Ms. Taylor Isaac. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I think before I got to this extent, there were complaints filed, right?
Yeah.
So what did they do about it? Some members of the church were making complaints. Is it that they neglected it and then they didn't do anything for it to get to this extent? Because there is no way they will just come up and protest without filing complaints before now.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Liber, do you think worshippers have a right to demand
that's why I love Anglican. I'm proud to come from Anglican church. That's my background.
Okay.
That's why I came from. See, it's high level we put an end to religious rascality in Nigeria. And I listened to Dr. Apoki, and the man said something. I listened to Apoki, I listened to Professor Johnson Suleiman, and these two men, they said something. Johnson Suleiman was like, if you pick a book written by Anglican priests or Orthodox churches, that the book will make you to think. Apoku say if they give you a topic to come and preach or teach, you have to go and do research. You cannot just come and teach anything or preach anything.
Okay.
Now, this will have systems and organograms that you cannot just stumble upon. You are a vicar, but you are not the powerful person. Unlike what is happening in Pentecostalism. You don't worship man, you worship God, but you respect man. Yeah. The PCC, Paris Church Committee, they are the decision makers. And before you have PCC coming out to talk, PCC must have had meeting to talk with the vicar. Don't do this. Now, if you are a vicar in Anglican church, you have to better, because as you are coming, I went to one of the Anglican church to preach. Do you know what happened? As I gave my topic, there was a woman at the front. I didn't know the woman was a professor. The woman Googled what I was preaching. She entered online. She typed my the topic. So even some of the things I was saying, she was typing when because after the message, the pastor, the canon, so the canon called you and shook you and said, "Professor said you are good." Now before you impress professor, you did well.
I will come to that.
Now, so here now, what happens is that no man owns the church.
Okay.
You don't own the church. You are there in the church to serve God. And there's no way you will serve God without, in the Bible, it was even Paul that cautioned Peter in Galatians. Paul cautioned him. Who was Peter? Peter was the head, right?
And he was supposed,
In Anglican, they will tell you, don't call me my Lord. The bishop, don't call me Bishop Cyril of Ogeli Houses. And they will tell you, don't call me my Lord. If my cassock is in the mood, tell me, Bishop, the cassock is in the mood. When I remove my cassock from the mood, call me my, know what it means?
What's cassock?
Cassock, you don't know what is cassock? They are tired at pastors.
So what does it mean by when my cassock is in the mood?
The mood is that now.
Mold, okay, mold.
Yeah, mold.
Okay.
Yeah? If it's in the mood, tell me to remove it. If you see me doing what is not right, don't praise me there.
Okay.
Caution me, let me come out of it before you praise me.
That's a figurative expression.
Yes, figurative expression. I should see that you are, I am seeing death on this year. I still praise you. Oh, Michael, you are doing well. No, that's what is happening there. The parishioners, they want a change. You don't own the church. Don't come and run the church as if it's a private enterprise. This is the church of God. Without us, there is no church. You are not God. If God uses you, doesn't mean it's only you God can use. God told Elijah that I have 3,000, not 300. 3,000 that have not bowed to who? To Baal. So the venerable and the bishop, one thing is that once you know you have bishop on your side, some of the vicars and some of the priests, they now behave as. But it's not only as something happened in years. That was year before last, right? In the US, when one of the gay priests, the US, most of the churches there is under Church of Nigeria, and in Anglican church they have to hills in the church. See the problem that if you allow it is going to bring down the name of the church. It's going to bring down the name of the body of Christ. It's going to bring our faith subjected to being ridiculed. You will see that most of the pastors will stand up, they will sit up.
Okay. Let me hear your thoughts on that. I will come back to you, Miss Pahila Isaac. He was talking about sermon, and after he shared the sermon, the professor said, "You are sound."